Hello YouTube, my name is Bob Ross, and on today's episode, I'm going to show you how to paint a goose using the unicorn horn. Let's get started. Don't you just miss those good old paint episodes of Bob Ross back in the day? You know, PBS when life was good. But anyways, YouTube, how you doing? I'm Marcus Reynal. I don't know what today's episode is about, but what I'm going to talk to you about is my 5th month in my music production Bachelor of Science program at Full Sail University. So this class started off a little bit different than most. There was still the professor introduction, told us about themselves, what we could expect to do throughout the class that month. But this class also started with a couple of watch me videos or do this videos. It was prep work to prepare for our coursework during the program. I guess I should tell you what the class is, so this class was audio workstations, and what this class was an introduction into Pro Tools. Lucky for me, I knew Pro Tools very well before the class started, so it was a bit of a relief, you know, coming from those gen ed classes to going into that sequencing class, which was pretty tough, I'm not gonna lie. And finally it was like, okay, something that I know, so it's not like I'm starting from scratch, but I can also get a deeper understanding and grow my knowledge base. Cool. So every week we had a live lecture where the professor would go through and essentially do our assignment for us. I don't want to say that, that's kind of messed up. That's not what happened. The professor would take our assignment and do it himself. So whatever we had to do, he would do. So essentially it was monkey see, monkey do. If you went to the lecture, watched him do it, then you could do it. Or watch the archive, because if you don't catch a live lecture, they do post an archive. Luckily for me, I had a couple of computers, so I would set my laptop up to the side, watch the lecture, follow along on my main computer. Boom, by the time the lecture was done, my assignment for the week was done. Worked for me. Our big assignment for the month was to remix a song. We had 3 options to choose from. It seems like they were previously recorded songs that some old Full Sail students have done. So each week there were a couple of different assignments. One assignment was to help us learn Pro Tools, and we were given audio files to import and manipulate the audio and learn different shortcuts, learn different workflows, and learn different processing methods. And then on top of that, we also had a remix assignment, and we had audio files that we had to download and do for that as well. The big thing about this class that really excited me was this class was our stepping stone into earning our Pro Tools certification. So for any of you out there that are interested in doing post-production audio, recording, mix engineering, mastering engineering, whatever you want to do, if you want to do it in Pro Tools, this class will get you a user certification. And if you go on Avid's website, you'll see the different levels where there's user, there's operator, there's expert, and all the different designations you can get, whether it's post-production, whether it's music production, and things like that. Honestly, this is a shorter video because I know I usually say week 1, week 2 was like week 1, week 3 was like week 1 and 2. Literally all of these weeks were the same. There was the live lecture, there was the Pro Tools assignments and all the assignments built upon each other. So the files we got in week 1, we basically opened that session and we either imported more files or we changed those files around and saved it to another version and continue to use that. So we didn't continue to download files. Everything from week 1 carried us into our final weeks. Now, we may have added more stuff, but we didn't have to restart anything. So I'm not gonna kill you guys with this week all the weeks were the same. There was a live lecture, there was the Pro Tools assignment, and there was the remix assignment. And our reading material for the week was to read the Pro Tools 101 manual and the Pro Tools 110 manual. We had certain sections and certain chapters to read, but that was each week in a nutshell. I thoroughly enjoyed this class. One contributing factor to that was the professor himself. I don't know if I should say that because I'm trying not to get in trouble with YouTube. I'm kind of nervous about me posting these videos, which is why I try not to go too in depth into our classwork. I'm not giving you guys the assignments or telling you exactly what we're doing or the answers. I feel everything I'm giving you is pretty broad. Even with some of the assignment names, it's not like you can watch my video and go complete the assignment. You may have an idea of what's coming up, but you can't really prep for it in a sense. So I don't know. But anyways, professor's name is Steve Kane. Steve Kane Productions. You can look him up on YouTube. You can look him up on Facebook. Pretty cool guy. Dude's a riot. Just full of energy, spontaneous, and he keeps things going. And he tells you himself in the lectures, like, he does the same thing all the time. And if he doesn't switch it up, he's gonna go crazy. And I don't blame him, because with our remix assignment, there's only 3 songs to choose from. So 4 times a year, or he does each song 4 times a year. Like, that will get pretty old pretty quick. Also, what he does is he doesn't rinse and repeat. He might take the same song, but he literally just goes with the flow and remixes it there. So he finds ways to keep things live, keep things engaging, keep things entertaining. Like, if you take this course and you have this professor, you're gonna love it, I guarantee it. And then outside of that, again, the Pro Tools certification was a huge plus for me. So I definitely dotted my I's and crossed my T's in this class. If you're into audio production and Pro Tools certification is something that you're interested in, drop a like on the video and let me know, because I want to see if you guys are just as interested in getting that as I am. So that's pretty much all we had to do for the month. And then I did forget to mention that we also had a weekly test that was essentially testing us on our Pro Tools knowledge. So the things that we learned for the week, whether it was file management, shortcuts, processing operations, different types of processors, anything that you can know Pro Tools that we covered in class, we were tested on. We also had, let's see, I'm going to give you a 10-second timer. Go into the comments and let me know what you think I'm about to say right now. Just preface it with like 10-second colon and then put your answer. What you're supposed to be putting is what you think the other assignment that we had is. Hey, if you've been keeping up with my videos, you will know. Here, let me give you a face for it. You got it? Forum post. We had a forum post every week. Now, they were different. They weren't your typical read this article, tell me what you think, reply to 2 people. It was more so like, watch this video or listen to these different songs, compare and contrast them. Since we were doing a remix project, I think our first one was watch these remix songs, listen to the originals, write what you feel is different, the same, etc., etc. And then one other thing we had to do, it was a little micromanaging, but it wasn't really that serious. If you were doing what you were supposed to do, it would have been done anyways. But we had to submit essentially a collection of screenshots showing that we followed certain steps in class. But there were certain screenshots that we had to submit just showing that we have completed certain tasks. There were certain things that had to have been done during our assignments, and we had to do them in a certain way or a certain order, things like that. Or there are certain settings and preferences that we had to check or uncheck or make sure that we had them in place. And we had to take screenshots to make sure and show that we did that. So that's pretty much all we have for the month. This was a very great class. I was very interested in it. I looked forward to it. It was very entertaining. It was very engaging. It was very thorough. Even though I had a good depth of Pro Tools knowledge at my disposal, I learned more, even though this was a basic class. Whether it was me learning another shortcut or me learning another way to do something, I did increase my knowledge. 5 stars out of 5 stars for this class. The professor was awesome. This was one of the first professors that I reached out to outside of class just to try to connect the network and things like that. So if you're thinking of taking music production, or you're in the music production program, or even the audio production program, and you take this class, I hope you have Steve Kane. That's not to say the other professors aren't just as great, if not better, but I know Steve Kane is awesome. And this class was amazing. I'm Marcus Reynal. Again, I don't know what the hell I just talked about, and I don't know what this episode is about. It's probably somewhere down here, like boop, boop, and you could probably figure it out from there. This is a series that I'm doing. If you want to go back to the beginning and start from there, you can catch it here. If not, you can feel free to start with this episode. I still have tons more to go. This was only my 5th month or my 5th class, and I still have about 17 more to go. So yeah, you have plenty more to watch. So if you like this episode or anything like that, drop a like. If you didn't like this episode, drop a dislike. Let me know. If you want to know about something specific, or if you want to see me do an offshoot video to talk about something else specific in the course or whatever, drop a comment, let me know, send me a message or anything like that. All right, I'll see you next time.